All right, now we have four other situations here. So the first situation, it says, or the first problem says, I'm worried I'm going to fail my exam. So imagine your best friend, or maybe your brother, or anybody you know has an important exam next week, or tomorrow, or in 2 days, and your friend says this to you: I'm worried I'm going to fail my exam. What advice would you give your
Yeah.
friend? What would you say to your friend?
I will ask him to study hard,
Mm.
or she takes some lessons before the examination date.
Okay, that's good. But let's
Yeah.
imagine let's imagine that your friend is actually a very good student, but he's very afraid, he's very worried.
Maybe I can tell him some. I will try to motivate him or encourage him,
Hmm.
and I can to let him to see this examination, so it will be so easy.
That's great. But what would you say to him exactly to motivate him and show him that the exam is easy? What would you say to him?
Be strong, or you have to be strong, and you have to get your target in the future, or you have to base this examination to get your goal.
That's good. Yeah, be strong. Don't worry. Be confident. You can do it. Right? It'll
Yeah.
be it'll be easy. You studied hard, so there's nothing to worry about. Yeah,
Oh,
I think I agree with you. I think with the first problem, maybe your friend just needs a little motivation. That's all. Some support
right.
and motivation, I think. Okay,
Right.
now the second situation, the second problem. It says, my parents make me so angry sometimes. So let's say you have a friend like who has a problem with his parents, or maybe your colleague at work has a problem with his parents, and he tells you, my parents make me so angry sometimes. What advice
Yeah.
would you give your friend?
I will tell him to be patient, and they are your parents, you, you shouldn't tell him any unrespect. We can use this word,
The
unrespect, or
disrespect. You can say it like this:
uh,
disrespect. You shouldn't. But here,
you
disrespect is a verb. So you'll say you shouldn't
uh,
disrespect them like this.
you shouldn't disrespect them.
True. Yes.
Yes, I think this something has has so deep feeling for everyone.
I agree. I think this helps.
Yeah.
If someone has a problem with their pants and they hear this, they'll think you're right. Yeah, I'll talk to them. I'll be patient, and he will maybe stop being angry, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now our third problem. I think this is a common problem. Maybe you have this problem too. I don't know. It says, I like my new job, but it's stressful. Do you know anybody who has this situation? Somebody who loves his job, but it's very stressful. Do you know anybody who has this situation, who has this problem?
Yeah, I faced many times. I always to tell myself, if I couldn't to work with stressful times, then I'm not a successful person, or I'm not a successful one.
That's great advice. So this means
Yes.
if your friend complains and says it's stressful, you tell him, if you want to be successful, you have to be strong, even if your job is stressful, right?
Yes. Right.
Okay, good advice. All right, now the last problem, it's also, I think, I don't know, maybe in the past, maybe you had this problem, but the problem says, I don't think my English is improving. Has any friend said this to you before? I don't think my English is improving.
Yeah, for me.
Ah, it also happened to you in the past, maybe.
Yes, sometimes I get this feeling.
But what do you do when you get this feeling? What do you say to yourself?
Try to study or try to take lessons or try to search, try to looking, try looking for other friends who has a good in English,
Hmm. This is good advice.
or
Yes,
watching movie or reading grammar.
that's also good advice. Yeah. But for example, let's say I complain to you and I tell you, Mohammed, I don't feel my English is important, or any of your friends. Let's say one of your friends says this. Will you give him the same advice that you give yourself? The same thing. You will tell him the same thing.
In general, yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So the same advice. So it means talk to people who have good English, take a course, take lessons, do some grammar, watch some movies. This kind of advice, right?
Maybe he wasn't doing that in the past.
Mm, true. So maybe if he does these things, he will see that his languages will improve again, right? It will start improving.